Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all joining. How's everybody doing this Friday afternoon? Appreciate you. I appreciate if y'all joined earlier, watch the live stream. It was live trading. On this one, we're going to cover the crypto markets. We're going to do a intermarket analysis. That's when we look at all the different asset classes, from the treasuries to the currencies to the stocks, commodities, crypto, etc. What's up, ZZ? Appreciate you joining. Shout out to you. Let me make sure y'all comments are coming up. But how's everybody doing? I know some of y'all wasn't able to watch me earlier, but I appreciate if y'all are joining right now. Gonna go ahead and knock this one out, get it out the way. What's up, Mike Mans? What's up? Appreciate y'all joining. So did y'all take any advantage recently? Did y'all take any advantage in the markets? If so, let me know what y'all took advantage of this week, past few days, because there's been some great opportunities in the overall market. What's up, Christine? Shim, what's up? Yeah, if you missed it, it's still up there if you want to go catch it. I did do a live stream this morning, live trading. So if you want to go ahead and catch that, you can go back and watch the live stream. ZZ, you said you're holding off for the touch of that fair value gap one last time. We'll see if it wants to drop down there. You might get a deeper discount if it does. But if y'all missed it this morning, y'all missed a good one. That was pretty much like a practice. A lot of people been asking me to do some live trading and in the futures market. And if you missed it, just go back and watch that one. What's up, Shy Swag? You say I took advantage of H-bar. H-bar was my heaviest position this week. I'm gonna say that was my heaviest position because I couldn't pass up on that opportunity. So I definitely went in on some H-bar and XLM. I'm waiting for XDC to come a little bit lower. Yeah, excuse me. I plan on it, Shim. I definitely plan on doing more live trading. Right now it's Friday, so the markets on Fridays after the AM session, I'm done. I'm out the market if I trade on Fridays. But Fridays you can lower your expectations when it comes to day trading in the traditional markets, because most of the smart money is off the table on late Fridays. But definitely appreciate it. So let me go ahead and call out these prices. We got XRP currently trading at $2.03. We got XLM 23 cents. XDC 7 cents. H-bar 16 cents. BTC 83,000, being very volatile. Ethereum still bleeding, coming down lower, 1,500. Algo 18 cents, and Solana $120. What's up, Frozen? Appreciate that comment. I just read it a few minutes ago, but appreciate that comment, and appreciate y'all joining. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, sign up to the Patreon if y'all haven't already. Get those beginner lessons. So one thing I've seen today, let's go ahead and come to some news, and then we're gonna get into the overall market. Let's come over here and get some news out the way. Which one I want to play first?
Powerful energy.
Nah, not that one. Not that one. So let's get some economic news out the way. We're going to talk about tariffs. And then I've seen a video with Jamie Dimon. I want to see his perspective and what he has to say, because these people put the narrative out there and they do the opposite. They do completely opposite. So let's go ahead and see what this video right here dealing with the tariffs, Trump's and tariffs. And if there's any other news that y'all been seeing lately, y'all can let me know and we can cover that as well. Let me go ahead and pull this up. And I'm also working on, I'm testing different platforms to get some of y'all on this live stream so I can give y'all a platform, give y'all a voice to allow y'all to pretty much come up and, talk about whatever, tell your life story, whatever. So I'm working on that as well. I'm trying to integrate that into my live stream. So y'all let me know if y'all are interested in that.
It's hard to predict how this will shake out, but it's looking increasingly like the goal for the US is to reorient global trade away from China. Trump recently paused tariffs that he had placed on other countries for 90 days, but upped the tariffs on China.
I did a 90-day pause for the people that didn't retaliate, because I told them if you retaliate, we're going to double it. And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate.
Most recently, China put an additional 84% tariff on US goods, which is the same level that Trump recently put on Chinese goods. But Trump just raised that to 125%. Well, earlier this year, when tariffs were at around 20%, Chinese manufacturers had agreed to give some price cuts in some cases to their US buyers. So in that case, if they reduce the price of their goods, that reduces the burden of the cost of extra tariffs from the importer side. But at this point, as I've been talking to Chinese manufacturers along with my colleagues, there is no more room to cut prices. A lot of these manufacturers are working at super thin profit margins. I talked to a hat maker in Guangzhou who sells hats for about $3 each. He makes about 5% profit. So as you can see, there's no more room to discount without operating at a loss. So factory owners tell me they might expect to halt production a little bit, or at least reduce some of the capacity. They might put some of their workers on temporary leave. But in general, people are hopeful that potentially there could be negotiations soon, potentially an agreement, because at these levels, it is truly prohibitive at this point to conduct.
How far do y'all see this going? Right now in the markets, things are becoming very distorted. We are at a pivotal moment in the markets. Everything, if you haven't noticed, it's been a quiet week as well. Not much volatility going on. Even last week, the stock market sold off. And the dollar reacted heavily this week. The dollar pretty much sold off. And also the treasuries. The treasuries has been very volatile. So they're buying them, selling them. We're going to see. So what y'all think? How far do we go with these tariffs? Because if y'all don't know history, after a currency war, there's normally a hot war. Now, I pray we don't do that. I hope we don't go to no type of physical hot war. But normally after people can't see the eye to eye when it comes to trade negotiations, then things get real physical. So one thing I was speculating on, this is not, this is all speculation. One thing I was thinking about was, does China go ahead and go after Taiwan? Does China want to go ahead and go after Taiwan to get those resources? So let me know what y'all think about that. ZZ, you said I heard he might be with China next week. Watch, which could shake things up a little if that ends. On and off market craziness. ZZ, Law Doc, she was definitely in the live stream earlier. You seen the opportunities that are available, even though there's a lot of noise going on. But we shall see in the coming days, in the coming weeks. I feel like we're in a pivotal moment, like especially if we're going to transition to this new financial system. Things have to come down. And then at the same time, things are moving forward on that end with the blockchain and, cryptocurrency and regulations. But on the other end, the economy and the currencies, things are getting tight. But let me go ahead and finish this video.
Trade between the US and China. China is a very critical part of global supply chains and the global manufacturing system. Many of the parts come from China that go into producing other goods. Many of the companies that are making goods in other countries are actually Chinese companies. And so if we do intend to have a decoupling between the US and China, this would have massive implications for the entire economy. Trump has many stated goals for his tariffs, such as bringing manufacturing back to the US. But when it comes to China, it's looking like the strategy is going to be trying to work with allies to potentially pressure them to reduce their trade relationships with China. We saw Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent make some comments signaling that the US would like to make agreements with allies, and potentially, if those allies want to negotiate with the US, they shouldn't try to further their relationships with China. Meanwhile, China is trying to court other countries and broaden their trade relationships with them. So right now, it's looking like if you're not the US or China, you are increasingly having to decide which side you're going to align with more. And it's tough to say because the US is one of the biggest consumer markets in the world. China is one of the biggest manufacturing markets in the world. So right now we're gearing up for a showdown between these two superpowers.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who y'all got your money on? But that's that. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and come to the charts right quick. Let's go ahead and get this out the way before I listen to Jamie Dimon, what he has to say. So let me go ahead and come to the charts. If y'all just joined, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're brand new. So first thing I want to look at, let's come over here and look at the economic calendar. I always start off with the economic calendar. We are in the, we're about to conclude the first week of April. Last week, I don't really consider that because April fell on a Tuesday, but this week, this was the first week, so we're going to go into the second week of April. Frozen. Crypto holders will ultimately win. Most definitely. We are positioned. You should be positioned. If you're not positioned, you better get positioned. And it's like musical chairs. Once those chairs stop, everybody isn't going to have a seat at the table. So let me go ahead and forecast. The week is pretty much over. Let me refresh this. The week is over. Let's see what we have coming up next week as far as the economic calendar. Next week, we got FOMC meetings, and we got Jerome Powell speaking next week on Wednesday. And then you got to throw in the unknown effect, the unknown factors like Trump talking, random executive orders, black swan events. We are living on edge right now. So you got to include those things as well into the market. The market is at some extremes right now. So let's go ahead and come to the treasuries. This is the treasuries. On the left side, I got the 30-year T-bond. In the top right, I got the 10-year note, treasury note. And in the bottom right, I got the 5-year treasury note. And it's been very volatile. So past couple weeks over here on the left, this is the 30-year. Market has been rallying. So the market has been reacting to treasuries going higher. So if we look over here to the left, these are weekly candles. So every one of these candles take at least 5 days, traditional markets. Oh, this is the futures as well. So over here on the left, market has been going higher for the past couple weeks, several weeks, consecutive weeks. And all of a sudden in 1 week, we wipe all that out. We sell off. And all of this back and forth with the treasuries is making the entire market volatile. That's why we see all this slowdown and indecisiveness and money not understanding where to flow to because of these treasury markets. 1 minute, they got us hyped up thinking we're about to, reduce the rates. Let me go. Matter of fact, speaking of rates, let me bring this up right quick. Let me come over to the interest rates and look at the calendar for the rates. So we over here on rates.com, globalrates.com. What I want to do is I want to look at interest rates. I want to go to central banks. And when's the next rate announcement? So we have been lowering our rates. We last changed it back in December 2024. The UK they recently lowered their rates. Canada, they recently lowered their rates. China, they've been lowering they haven't lowered their rates since last year. The ECB, they're lowering their rates. So everybody's lowering those rates, which means money is becoming cheaper. Currencies are becoming cheaper. So that means people are willing to borrow. Nations or countries are more willing to borrow the currency from the central banks. So these central banks are lowering the rates for money, for cash or currency. And now you should start seeing those treasuries rise, which means the dollar will sell off. That's what's happening. The dollar is starting to sell off. That means inflation. That means they're printing currency. So that's what I'm trying to show y'all. They're printing currency, which is going to make money cheaper, which means assets will rise. So I'm watching that, but at some point, something is about to break. Something is about to break. So I'm watching for that. So what I'm looking for is the next rate announcement. I'm back over here on the economic calendar. I want to see when is the next rate announcement. Is it the last week of April? It's non-farmed, ADP. Unemployment rate. Let me go ahead and look into May. Let's look out into May. So, okay, the next rate announcement will be Wednesday, May the 7th at 1 o'clock p.m. Wednesday, May the 7th at 1 o'clock p.m. And then until then, you know, it's probably already priced in. So it's already priced in what they're going to do. If we continue to see those treasuries rally higher, we will see the dollar and the rates go down. So that's what I'm watching for. And speaking of the dollar, we over here on the dollar. You can see, let me go out to the monthly time frame. You can see the dollar trading lower. It's starting to want to sell off. What we just did was we dropped lower, took out liquidity at all these lows from previous years. So this is dramatic. This little small movement in the dollar is making the entire system volatile. And that's why we see these prices. It's really uncertainty, because look how long we've been trading in this consolidation. Look how long we've been trading inside of this consolidation. We've been consolidating sideways for years. So at some point, we got to leave the consolidation. We either got to go to some type of reversal or an expansion. I'm going to go out to the 6-month time frame for the dollar. That's a macro long-term perspective. Y'all in the comments, what kind of candle is this right here? I already got it highlighted, but I want y'all to tell me so y'all can engage. What kind of candle is this? And this is on the 6-month time frame. This is for the dollar. So if we trade below this fair value gap, I'm going to be looking for it to drop down to this level right here. What is that right there? Y'all in the comments. And make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're brand new. Click the link in the description. So I'm assuming nobody's engaging. So this is not a SIBI. Not a SIBI. This down closed candle right here. What is that? What is that right there? Shout out to you, Scott. It's a bullish order block. That's why I say, Law Docs, get in that Patreon. Get in that Patreon. You can learn this. Figure out a way. That's a bullish order block. This is a 6-month order block. So each one of these candles takes 6 months. So on this current candle right here, we had 2 months and 20 days to complete this candle. So of course, if we divide the year up into 2 candles, each one of them will represent 6 months. So 2 of these candles complete 1 year cycle. So where do y'all see the dollar with all the noise going on with them lowering the interest rate, making money cheaper? The dollar will come down. So where do y'all see the dollar in the next 6, 7, in the next 8 months? Where do y'all see the dollar reaching for? Do y'all see it coming lower, or do y'all see it going higher? Y'all let me know in the comments. In the next 8 months, which will end 2025, do we see the dollar coming lower? And if so, money will be cheaper, currency will be cheaper, assets will rise. asset prices will rise if the dollar continues to come down lower. You said hold the rate and drop the dollar. That's also a factor as well. So that's a good answer, Law Docs. But there's rumors of them lowering it. So we don't know until they do it, right? So we don't know until they do it. They can go ahead and pause the rates. So that's what you're suggesting they can pause the rates and the dollar could just fluctuate around. It could just fluctuate around. Or they could lower the rates. As they lower the rates, the dollar will come lower and that will push asset prices going higher. They have BRICS to deal with, and BRICS is better option. We shall see. BRICS right now, BRICS isn't the better option because again, we lead the world in technology. In technology, if you believe in these digital assets, you already know that, you know, companies like Ripple, Stellar, of course they got their own blockchains, but we have probably the best technology. We shall see. I don't know it all, Law Docs. I don't know it all. I'm gonna sit here and tell y'all, like, I'm good at analyzing price action, and then everything else is left up for speculation as far as macroeconomics or economists from an economist perspective. Everything else is left up for speculation, and I'm not gonna claim to know it all. There's all kind of scenarios and factors. All I'm going to do is look for opportunity right now in the market. Where can I find opportunity amongst the chaos? So that's pretty much what I like to specialize in. We can buy into any narratives, but I never commit to no narrative. Like, I don't commit to the BRICS narrative. I don't commit to the dollar collapsing narrative. I don't commit to none of those narratives because we truly don't know until things happen. So we might have an idea of these things happening, but we really don't know. And I'm gonna tell who else is gonna tell y'all like that from a economist perspective. Who else is gonna let y'all know that, like, hey man, we got all these narratives, but we truly don't know. Because I always say, hey, they never rule out war. Like, nobody ever wants to include war into investing in positioning yourself. But a World War III scenario, which I'm not no conspiracy, I'm not even pushing that. I'm just saying that's always in the cards, because if you look back in history, war was always the Great Reset. There has never been a Great Reset without any type of war going on. It could be different this time. But again, if you just look at the history of the central bankers, and if you look at the history of economics, war always got us to that next stage in society. Maybe we don't need that in 2025 though, and going into 2030. Hopefully we don't need that, but we are at some type of pivotal moment. We didn't expect the pandemic, so those are other things you got to include. You didn't see that the pandemic was a part of the economist. You know, it was a part of manipulating and driving the financial markets. So that's what I'm trying to say. Law Docs, I don't know what you talking about. Look, what you talking about? Hold on. Tech leader is Rahel controlling biodigital convergence. Okay. Again, I'm not going to go into I'll let y'all talk about that in the comments. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. We're going to keep it strictly the money. Let's talk about the money. And I'm going to let them have all the conspiracies. And I'm not saying that you're a conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to let them have that. And I'm aware of everything. I'm aware of all the narratives, all this, you know, the things going on, but I try to keep it so I don't drive myself insane. You know, I try to keep it. I like to keep it focused. I like to focus on family. I like to focus on community. I like to focus on skill set. Those things, I like to keep it like that. I like to keep it there so we don't have to get too confused. I don't like to get into religion, all that, politics. I don't care about none of that. All right, Law Docs. All right. Calm down now. Calm down. You're going too deep for the chat. So calm it down just a little bit. Just calm it down just a little bit. Let's stick to the money, Law Docs. That's why you here. That's why you here, Law Docs. Stay here. Stay here with me. Stay here with me. Don't veer off too far off into the deep end. You see me right here? Stay right here with me. Don't veer left. Don't veer right. Let's stay to the markets. Let's stay to the money. But I appreciate you always joining and showing up though. So that's the dollar. So I'm forecasting that the dollar is going to come lower. I'm just forecasting that we come down lower in the next 8 months. I could see the market going lower, and let's see what happens as far as the assets. So that's the dollar. Now let's come over to XRP. Here y'all go. I'm gonna go out to the 3-month time frame. Again, this is the long-term time frame. Y'all see me highlight this orange highlighted area. Again, I have not removed it from my charts. Still present in my charts. Didn't remove it. And y'all watch me real time. If y'all been watching my channel, y'all watch me real time highlight this fair value gap in the market in the form of a BISI. Some of y'all said y'all are waiting for lower prices. Let me go ahead and throw up this right there. That's a Fibonacci. I'm grading the ranges inside of the fair value gap. So we're grading ranges. We're grading the ranges inside the gap. And here, I want to say last week and this week, you had an opportunity to accumulate XRP at a discount. You had an opportunity to grab it. Press 1 if y'all took advantage and y'all followed this analysis that I'm highlighting. Press 1 if y'all took advantage and executed once the market dropped down into this gap. Who press 1 if y'all executed? ZZ, you said, boss, I agree with what you said last week. I don't think it's, hold on, let me read it. 1 second. You said last week, I don't think it stayed in the fair value gap long enough and no large candles bought down there in it to be out of it just yet. Corps are greedy. And, oh yeah, most definitely. We are not out of the gray. Cause look at this candle right here. This is the quarterly candle. Remember, every one of these candles take 3 months to complete. We have 2 months and 20 trading days left to complete this candle. So not even 2 months. So about two months and a half for this candle right here to close. So we are far away. This candle right here closes in June. So we are far away from this candle closing. So what happens in between now and June, and we see all this macroeconomic news and all these narratives coming? Remember, you got to keep up with the treasuries. You got to keep up with the dollar. What is the dollar going to do? What is commodities going to do? So that might not be the last opportunity. So I gave y'all 2 scenarios. I said, hey, and this is all documented. I said, hey, what I want to see is we drop down and we don't take too long at this gap at all. If this market is extremely bullish, we drop down to this fair value gap and we quickly leave it and move away from it. Now, the second option was we can drop down into this gap and they hold it down here for several months. We have to get in sync with that. Again, I don't control the market. I can forecast the market. I can get in sync with it. I can ride their wave. So who is they? The smart money, the institutions. We can get in sync with their order flow, with their price action. And that's what we're doing by learning this skill set. Click the link in the description. What's up, Lenny? Appreciate y'all joining. Shout out to you. Law Docs, Black Swan moment coming to drop this market hard, and I am set in that level. That's smart. That's smart. That's a smart thing to do. Make sure y'all stacking cash. Stacking cash, because I don't think these opportunities are done just yet. We got a long time. ZZ, could trade wars ending in China agreeing to terms, sending out of fair value? Man, I honestly think, which I don't know, bro. I don't claim to know it all. Everybody do is speculate. What everybody do is speculate. So between China and America, it's a possibility that they come to terms. But y'all know the world. Y'all know the world ain't set up like that. The world drives off of chaos, and then at the same time, the narrative with China, they've been on the rise for the past so many years. So you don't think they kind of want to flex at this point? They kind of like tired of being bullied and told what to do. They want a seat at the table. They want, they want to be that world superpower. So they might not want to agree to terms. They might not want to do that. China is caught up in the middle. China is caught up in the middle because America built up their nation and their economy. And it's almost like you're going to bite the hand that feeds you if you don't agree to our terms. But that's why they've been partnering up with African nations. They've been partnering up with BRICS nations. They've been trying to cut deals underneath the table, but they got to be careful. They got to be very careful. So we shall see. I don't know it all. Let me see. What's up, Ryan? What's up? Appreciate you joining. What's up, Echelon? What's up, Flipping Pages? Some people took advantage of this discount. ZZ, I agree with you. I don't see it hitting all-time highs with trade and China wars going on. Not at the moment. We shall see. This is a long game, y'all. That's why if y'all missed the live stream earlier, we did live trading. And I showed y'all examples of how you can go make profits right now if you strap for cash. If you're making money, you don't give a damn about none of this. If you're a Fortune 500 company, if you're a business and you're profitable, you don't give a damn about no trade wars. Your business is doing good. So if you get in the business of trading and learning technical analysis, you can hedge against all this recession talk, all this tariff talk, all this trade wars. You can hedge against all that and go make your money and go live your life. That's why I'm over here teaching that. And this morning, if y'all missed the live stream, we did some live trading and I was showing examples of current market conditions and I was giving protocols and rules and things to do and what not to do. So if y'all missed it, go back and watch it. We did some live trading. Let me see. Let me read the comments. Lenny, I think we will see a lot of volatility through the summer at least. Yes, we're definitely going to this entire year. Lenny, these markets are set up to be very volatile, especially things that Trump is doing. It's all narrative. These markets are all ran by algorithms, but they need the narratives to distract the people. If the people are distracted and they're buying into all the narratives, they're not going to know which way to look. They're not going to know whether to be bearish or bullish. And these markets are going to be very volatile. But by understanding how to read price action, like I'm teaching, just like I told y'all earlier in the live stream, I said, I don't care about the money. I'm watching the candlesticks. By understanding that these markets are repeating and they rhyme, you can get in sync with that. So look at XRP right now. We dropped down into this fair value gap. 1 second. Let me take this phone call. All right, I'm back. I ain't gonna be too long right now. I gotta get ready to run. But again, this is XRP. We traded down here. If y'all took advantage, shout out to y'all. We traded down into this fair value gap. Again, I don't think we're done. Let me drop down to the monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, we have 19 days left to complete the month of April. 19 days left. We already dropped down, took out some liquidity. So I'm already looking at May. How do we close April? I think we're going to be volatile just like this in April. You see how this candle is? It's indecisive. It's not really all the volume is. You can find the volume in price action in the bodies of the candle. So for example, if we look back to the left, previous price action, these large candles had a lot of volume pushing the market higher. This candle right here retracing lower in February, a lot of volume. But look how we closed March, low volume. It was very volatile, but we closed with low volume. I'm anticipating that we close April the same. So when we go over to May, maybe in May, we still drive back down lower, deeper inside of this fair value gap. We shall see. Let's see how we close the month of April. We need to see that April close. How volatile is April? That's what I'm waiting for. This is more macro. I'm not going to get into intraday price action. We're just looking at it from a zoomed out perspective, high time frame perspective. So that's XRP. We're not done. Let's go down to the weekly, and I'm gonna stop at the weekly. So the weekly candle, you can see this week, early in the week, we dropped down, took out sell side liquidity from previous weeks, going down into that discount. If you picked up XRP in that discount, and it's not random that it drops down there and bounces off of it, that's a support level. What is this highlighted green level? Like, I got to go down to the daily. That highlighted green level, and I highlighted this last time, was this SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That's a premium array. Discount array, which is that 3-month fair value gap, trade down there. We rally higher. So a lot of y'all might be confused. Oh, XRP is rallying. It's 204. We're about to move higher. We're bullish. Don't believe that just yet. Don't believe it just yet. We're not done yet. They're trapping people, thinking, having them buying at premiums, thinking we're going to move higher. But no, look how the price action is trading off of these levels. And if I wanted to get short, I would set limit orders right here and short this market down lower. But again, if it's bullish, we need to see some type of institutional sponsorship, meaning displacement, rapid candlesticks going higher, taking out old highs. That will be an indication that, okay, that market is bullish. We're not there yet, though. They're just holding price, and they're going to hold it into the end of the week, going into next week. I already can tell you that. It's already Friday, Saturday, Sunday starts the new week. So relax this weekend. Don't think about the market too much. They're holding the market. It's in a holding pattern. Time distortion. It's algorithmic. All right, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and pull up XLM. That's XRP. I definitely will live stream Sunday, so definitely be looking out for that Sunday live stream. This is XLM. I recently took advantage down here. I had a limit order at 20 cents. It drops down to this 3-month fair value gap. This is a 3-month time frame. XLM currently trading at 23 cents. It's still at a great opportunity, but I'm trying to see if we want to come down lower. But look at this gap right here. I got it highlighted. If I remove that, you can see this large gap in the market right here. That's a large gap. So I got that highlighted, and we just recently referred back to it, the top of it. Now, if we drive back down lower, that will be a great opportunity. Let me see if I got the Fibonacci thrown up. Nah, I don't have the fib thrown up. From this high down to this low. And those are the price levels that you can accumulate XLM. If y'all miss anything, just definitely go back and watch the live stream. You will catch it. So that's XLM. I got to kind of hurry up because I got somewhere to be. But I definitely will go live. Maybe tomorrow. Definitely Sunday. XDC. XDC is trading off of this monthly fair value gap. I don't think we're done with XDC coming lower though. But look at this monthly fair value gap. XDC currently trading at 7 cents. We trade down into this BISI on the monthly fair value gap. But on this orange highlighted area was that 3-month fair value gap. So shout out to y'all if y'all was able to accumulate XDC. Yes, XLM at 11 cents was definitely a great steal. Let me look at it again. Most definitely. That's the midway point of that gap. So I don't think we come that low though, but we shall see. I don't think we come that low. But XDC, look at the fair value gap right here. We traded through it, went down to that 3-month fair value gap, and now we're rallying higher currently. But are we done? I don't think so. I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done. So we're currently at 7 cents. Let me go down to the weekly. If we come lower, which this might, shout out to y'all was able to accumulate. But if we come any lower, y'all be on the lookout for XDC. But right now, we went down to discount. Now it's taking out the previous week's high. We just took out the last week's high. Now let's see if we get a little pop in XDC. I'm gonna be watching this. Gonna be watching XDC. Let's go ahead and look at H bar. Let's go ahead and look at H bar. Okay, H bar recently dropped down to discount. I took advantage of H bar. This was a great opportunity. Shout out to y'all if y'all took advantage, but I definitely was buying all in here. My main accumulation area was at this 0.75 level. This 0.75 level. This 0.75 level. All right. We are at a discount. One second. All right, I'm back. So H bar, if we drop down, if y'all took advantage of H bar, shout out to y'all. We're currently trading at 17 cents, and I was accumulating at this deep discount right here, at this deep discount. Now we're moving away from that discount and we're starting to move higher. Let me see right quick. Let's go down to the monthly. We got 19 days left for H bar. Are we done coming down here? I'm not sure yet. Let me go out to the weekly. Let's see how we close this current week. We haven't taken out the previous week's high, so I don't think we're done. We shall see. But shout out to y'all if y'all took advantage of H bar. What else? What other asset? Let me see right quick. Let's look at gold right quick. Let's look at gold. Gold still going higher. Gold currently trading at $3,235. It's probably doing the best. It's probably performing the best out of all these assets because it's pretty much real sound money. It's not debt. It's not currency. It's gold. So it's definitely performing real well. If I drop out to the monthly, again, gold, man, ain't no ceiling on gold. There's no ceiling on gold. It's continuing higher. And let me see what else. Stock market. Let's go ahead and look at the stock market. Let me come over here to the NASDAQ and the S&P. If we just look at the S&P, so if the dollar starts to go lower, interest rates start to come down, that's going to be very bullish for stocks, crypto, etc. So this whole time the market, so are they setting it up for Trump to look like he was crashing the market and for him to become the savior? That's what I'm just assuming. But you can see the stocks going lower. They're not really, it's really nothing going, it's not doing nothing crazy. It's just having sharp flashes in the market. It's just shout out to UB Rush. It's just having short flashes in the market. But if you just zoom out on the S&P right here, it's not crashing. There's no crash. So all that narrative and all that noise. Let's go out to the 6 month. All that narrative and all that noise. What's up, Jazz R? All that noise was just pretty much noise. Trading down into this fair value gap right here and then rejected off of it. So this is a 6 month time frame. For the the S&P, traded down there, right there. You can see it, used it as support. And now I'm going to anticipate this to continue higher. Let's see. This is a 6 month candle. Appreciate y'all joining. Like I said, I ain't gonna be too much longer. I got to pretty much jet out of here. If y'all missed anything, definitely go back and watch the live stream. But that's the NASDAQ. That's the S&P. Let's look at the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ pretty much doing the same thing. If you don't know, the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow, they trade similar. And then sometimes they go off script from each other. So there's a fair value gap right there. We didn't trade down to that, but we traded down almost into this order block where we did trade down into it. So this candle right here is a bullish order block. We traded down there and we didn't touch it yet. So, but there's a smaller gap right here as well. So this little fair value gap right there, traded down into that. And that was an accumulation for smart money. Now let's see how we close. We got 2 months to close this candle. Let's see if we start moving higher and the narrative starts to change here in the coming weeks. Because as I look at crypto, like I said, let's come back to XRP. Let's go out to the 3 month time frame. if this market is bullish, like very bullish, I wanted to see it come down here, trade into this fair value gap, and don't stay down there long at all. I want to see it drop down. We enter and we start moving higher and start taking out these old highs in the market, which those levels, I got highs left behind for weeks and months. So let's see how we want to start moving. But definitely be looking out look out for me at a later time. Definitely got to jet out of here. That's life. But I definitely appreciate y'all going. I got some life obligations to handle. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, sign up to the Patreon. Link is in the description. But definitely be looking out for me. And I'll check back with y'all the next time. But this was a brief. If y'all missed anything, go back and watch it. I give y'all my narrative and my perspective in these markets. But I catch y'all on the next one. Appreciate it.